Listo. Ya, compañero.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our panel discussion. We are Group 25, and today we will present our poster, Speaking with Confidence, a project proposed for virtual English class. Our project was creating from a real problem we observed in a virtual English class. We noticed that some students felt assured when they had to speak English. For that reason, we designed 5 activities to help students participate more and speak with more confidence. Now each member of our group will explain one activity from the poster. First, Natalie will present activity 1.
Thanks, Gidi. Our offering activity is called Introduce Myself, Building Confident to Speak. The main purpose of this activity is to help the student start speaking English in a simple and comfortable way. First, the tutor shows a short example of a personal introduce, choose a name, ages, and interest. This here students a clear model, then student write to or three short sentences about themselves after that they were in the pair in the introduce themselves to classmates. Finally, is the students say a short area about their partner is from the class. This activity is important because the students do not begin with the difficult oral task. They start with the simple personal information. They also have time to write before speaking, and this helps then organize their area better. Another positive point is the part where gives a student as major speaking space before they speak is front of everyone. Also use the Teams as the class chat and short digital presentation. This tool support and interact and help the student use English in simple and meaningful way. And now Gabriel will present activity 2.
Okay, thank you, Natalia. Our second activity is called Speak Step by Step. This activity helps students practice speak in a gradual way. At the beginning, students do a short session on things in smart groups. There, they do a brief role playing with simple everyday situation. For example, a vacation trip or a short personal experience. After that, the tutor presents the topic with images and visual support. Then, students use Padlet to write short ideas or example before speaking. In the last part, they open their cameras and share one short comment in English. This activity is useful because students must start by speaking alone in front of the whole class. First, they work in small groups. Then they write, and after that, they speak. This order gives them more time and prepare helps them participate little by little. The activity also uses Teams, Padlet, Tandem, and role-playing. These resources make speaking practice more active and more connected to real situation. In our group, in our opinion, this activity responds very well to the problem we observe because some students needed more time and support before speaking in English. Go ahead, Mariana, please explain activity 3.
Thank you, Gabriel. Our dear activity is called Speak Without Fear. The main goal of this activity is to help students develop confidence and practice basic oral communication in a supportive environment. In this activity, students work in pairs and recite simple conversation questions. They ask and answer the question with their partner. After that, each student introduces their partner to the class using short English sentence. The activity also includes a friendly moment called mistakes allowed, where a student corrects simple sentence in a calm way. At the end, the class reflects on the experience. This activity is important because it shows a student that making mistakes is part of learning. The class is not focused on pressure, it is focused on practice, support, and communication. Pair work is also important here because a student can help each other before speaking to the whole group. For this activity, we can use a Padlet or Jamboard virtual classroom tools and even AI support to generate simple questions or short dialogues. We think this activity is useful because it helps students speak English in a safe and friendly way. Now, GDs will continue with activity 4.
Thank you, Mariana. Our fourth activity is called Virtual Tone Show. This activity is more creative and gives students the chance to practice oral fluency through mock interviews. In the activity, students work in a small group. Some students are interviewed and other languages. The tutor keep the digital card with simple questions, and they feature their interviews in breakout room. Later, in group, present a short part of their tone show to the class. Students can also use virtual background to make the activity more dynamic and attractive. This activity helps students speaking in a more creating where they are not only answering a latent question, they are taking part in a communicative situation with roles, questions, and answers. In also help reduce tension because students are working as a group and sharing responsibility. The 12 we use here are things of some breakout room. Canva originally gamified element in which I symbolic work in a project. This activity is important because it promotes confidence, fluency, creativity, and participation. Now, Junel will present our last activity.
Compañero, tu micrófono está cerrado.
I'm sorry. So, thank you, Yidis. Our fifth activity is called the Global Connect Challenge. This activity focuses on speaking, listening, teamwork, and collaboration in English. First, students work in small groups and receive creative scenario, such a problem-solving task or short story idea. Then they brainstorm ideas, discuss them together, and prepare a final document. After that, they present their work and receive feedback. At the end, each student writes a short reflection about the experience. This activity is different because it gives students the chance to work with others in a more collaborative and global way. Students do not only speak for themselves, they listen, respond, negotiate ideas, and create something together. This makes communication more meaningful. The digital tools for this activity include HelloTalk, Google Docs, Padlet, and Zoom or Meet. We also include gamma-fed elements such as bucket or points. In our opinion, this activity is a strong way to develop confidence, teamwork, and active participation in English.
Thank you, Janelle, and thank you everyone to visit this first part. Our poster also include a assignment plan where we use both formatted as a semester an implementation plan where the 5 activities are used in 5 virtual sessions. In this way, a student can practice them by STEM and showing progress over time. Our conclusion is that this project is innovating because it uses the digital tool, collaboration, and speaking activity to respond to a real childhood problem. It is focused on communication, participation, and confidence in virtual English learning. Now we will continue with the second part panel discussion and answer the guiding question. Our fifth question is, what was the most valuable experience from your teaching practice? Natalia, can you please share your answer?
Yes, of course. For me, the most valuable experience from my teaching practice was understanding that teaching English is not only about the giving content, it's also about the creating the right condition for a student for participate and learn step by step. During this course, you understand the many students many now some vocabulary on grammar, but they still need time support and clear guidance to speak in English. This becoming very clear when they analyze the virtual class because some students his they have short answers and did not looking comfortable with they has to speak. That's helped me see that as future and teacher you need to pay attention not only to the topic but also the way a student like their learning process. Another important lesson for me was the role of the tutor in virtual environments. Strategies and so are uniform, but they do not work alone. The teacher has to give them support and use so record with the clear prompts. I also learned the activity becoming more meaningful when a student can interact. Think um, I participate activity for that reason. I think the most valuable experience was the learning to connect teaching practice with the students' feel needs, especially when they need more confidence to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. Now, our second question is, how did your review of language acquisition evolve during the course? Gabriel, please tell us your answer.
Thank you, Yes. Okay. Uh, my view of language acquisition changed a lot during this course. At the beginning, I thought the learning English was mostly about grammar, vocabulary, and repetition. But during this course, I understood that language acquisition is a wider process. Uh, we study different ideas that help us see that students do not learn only by memorizing rules. They also learn through practice, repetition, support, and meaningful experience. Because of this, I understand that students need more the explanations. They need opportunities to use English and contest and participate step by step. I also understood better the view of the interaction. In the sense, Vygotsky's idea helped me see the students learning better when they work with other and receive guidance from the tutor. So now I see the language acquisition is a process that includes practice, communication, reflection, and support. For me, that was one of the most important things I learned in this course. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Now, our next question is, which activity from the Agora poster inspired you most and why? Jonel, can you please share your answer?
Yes, of course. Um, the activity that inspired me the most was from the first group that presented their poster. Their proposal was really caught in attention because it was creative, well organized, and clearly connected to the problem of speaking anxiety and English classes. What I liked most was that their activities were this designed to help students feel more comfortable when speaking. They include ideas like AI roleplay chats, gamified speaking challenge, collaborative podcasts, and virtual really speaking simulation. I think these activities are very interesting because they create safe and close space for students to practice English with less pressure. Another reason why this poster inspired me is that it showed a closer connection between the teacher and the students. The class didn't look repetitive or distant. It looked more dynamic, more supportive, and less tedious. In my opinion, that is very important because when students feel support, they can practice more and speak with more confidence. So for me, that's the first poster was the most inspiring because it combined innovation, creativity, and a real response to student needs.
Thank you, Janelle. Now our last question is, what do you take away from the Agora event as a church teacher? Mariana, can you please share your answer?
Yes, of course. What I take away from the Agora event as a future teacher is that creative and innovative activities can really make a difference in the classroom. During the event, we could see students from different courses sharing their ideas, reflection, and teaching projects. For me, this was very meaningful because it showed that a good activity is not only something to complete in class. It can also help students feel more comfortable, participate more, and learn in a better way. Another thing I take away is the importance of giving value to our pedagogical practice in the Agora. We did not only see final products, we also saw real reflection about teaching classroom problems and possible solutions. That made me think that a future teacher we need to create activities with a clear purpose and with attention to student needs. I also learned that class can be more close, more dynamic, and less tedious when we use the right strategies. If students feel safe and supported, they can speak more, participate more, and enjoy the class more. So after this event, I take with me the idea that teaching English is not only about content. It is also about creating meaningful and human learning experience for our students. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your ideas and reflection. This discussion helped us understand that teaching English is not only about explaining topic, it is all about creating good experience for students through this course and the Agora we learned that creating activity, support, and reflection can make the class more meaningful and closer to a student need. Thank you very much for your attention.
Listo. ¿Cómo se
Déjate
sintieron,
de,
compañeros?
déjate de grabar, compañero. Sí,
Señor.
listo, perfecto. Yo creo que lo hicimos bien. Yo estaba, no sé, pero yo estaba nervioso hoy.
Sí, el compañero
Yo
estaba,
creo que
el
Sí, pero
compañero
se escuchó
estaba,
bien.
el compañero
Sí,
estaba
yo
sí.
creo que
frente y
todavía
apaga
no
la
estaba
cámara y yo me
conectado.
quedé, bueno, ¿y él qué hace?
Lo que pasa es que los perros, es que para acá llovió súper duro, entonces los perros están dando vueltas por acá, entonces tú sabes que hacen su bulla, entonces me tocaba apagar y vaya, váyanse para allá. Entonces, imagínense.
Ajá.
Así andaba yo porque yo tengo dos perros Y entonces están ladre que ladre. Uy, no, parece que supieran que uno está grabando.
Sí, sí.
Oye,
A mí
sí.
me sale que Jonel está grabando todavía, ustedes no.
No, señora.
A mí
Ya yo
también.
tengo que grabar ya.
Uy, no,
A
no,
mí me
no,
sale
antes de.
Ay,
Sí.
sí
Judith.
tengo grabado.